welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Heather Lewis, and this week we are back with another furniture flip. This dresser is a 6-drawer dresser, and it has some great bones, but it's very outdated with the hardware and the color, and I'm really not liking the current base either. The top does have a lot of scratches, and it is a solid wood dresser, so I think we will be able to sand it down to raw wood and kind of start over with a new finish. All of the drawers slide beautifully. From what I can see, there is no maker's mark, but this piece is structurally sound and pretty good quality. We just want to change it up, give it a little makeover, and just modernize it a bit more. Like with all makeovers, the very first thing that we are going to do to this piece is taking off the hardware, so let's get to it. I also thought that I would mention that I got this piece from the Salvation Army for only $30, which I think is a pretty good score. All right, so this old hardware is always super simple and easy to take off because it probably hasn't been taken off in many years. You can see, like, I can already twist this and it's ready to come off, so it always makes my job super easy. That's typically why I do just use a screwdriver, but you can definitely use a drill as well if you want to. I just kind of choose not to. These you don't even need a screwdriver either. You just hold the back of the screw and twist and it comes right off. Just to make it easier on myself, I'm also going to take these drawers out so that I have easier access to the body when it comes time to starting to do stuff to that. So there is a lot of dust where the old hardware was, and a lot of dust on the body as well where the drawers used to be. Just on top of the dresser, pretty much everywhere needs a good cleaning. So that's the next step, and I like to use warm water and Dawn dish soap. Most people have that in their homes already, so it's really convenient. Now that cleaning's out of the way, we can get started on the actual design of this makeover. Since this piece is solid wood, there's no point in wasting some of this beautiful wood, and I want to be able to show some of that off. So I am gonna do a paint wash, and I think instead of having the entire body in a paint wash like I did the last time, I'm gonna do a dipped look. So I have to choose where I want to cut off the paint wash so that the second half of it can just be painted. Before I do any of the taping though, I've got a long road ahead of me for sanding this down to raw wood. I'm gonna start with an 80 grit to really grind down this old finish, and then I'll move up to a 120 and finish it off with a 220. Then we can get started on taping and doing our paint wash. This whole upper half is what's going to be paint washed, and then I'm gonna cut the paint wash off at this line here. The rest will be paint, and then the top will be paint wash. So it should look pretty cool when we're done. But before we can do any of that, there is a bunch of dust on the floor. I'm sure you can already see that I wanna make sure it gets cleaned up long before we open any paint and start painting. For the painted portion, I am using my black from Sherwin Williams in the color tricorn black. I have been pretty obsessed with this color lately, and this one quart has actually lasted me 3 projects, which is pretty impressive. And also this time around, it did take 3 coats to reach full coverage, but I just really do love this black, and if you need a good black, I totally recommend this one. Now, you do see me painting first, but really I would recommend doing the paint wash portion first. Once I get into the paint wash, you'll see why, but basically I definitely had touch-ups to do when I did the paint first, and so I would just do the paint wash first. The only reason I didn't is because I was waiting on the paint to arrive to my house. It was in transit shipping to me, so I wasn't patient. But if you run across this, just wait, do the paint wash portion first, and then go ahead and do the paint portion. I think it works way better that way, and you won't have to do a bunch of touch-ups like I did. Somewhere along this makeover, I did also fill in all of the hardware holes that was going to have black paint over them. I don't really know where that footage went. I know I recorded it, but I just can't find it anywhere, so I lost that, but just know that I did do that. And then for all of the portions or hardware spots that was going to be getting the paint wash, I used this Minwax natural wood filler, and it worked out really well. And after a few hours, that wood filler had dried and I was able to sand all of the excess back. And then finally, I was able to get into the paint wash, which I was super excited about. For the paint wash, I'm using Fusion Mineral Paint for the first time in the color Algonquin, and for the paint wash, I just got a glove, some paper towels, and a container to put the paint wash in. To make the paint wash, I mixed about a 50-50 ratio of paint and water, and then I stirred it up. From that point, I just put on my glove and started applying it with the paper towels to the top. I will say though, I definitely recommend using shop towels over paper towels because shop towels are just way easier to work with and nothing comes off of the shop towels like paper towels do. You may notice a new base was put on, and I put on this same paint wash on the drawers that were sanded down to raw wood, and then I waited for everything to dry. I got the new hardware, and this dresser is pretty much done. Because both of the paints that I used are all-in-one paints, I didn't use a top coat, but now I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna go back and do that anyways. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the final reveal. And as always, if you could like this video and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it as it really helps small channels like mine grow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next week for the next one.
Love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5 if you want more than to stay alive. So come on over, we can make it through.